Grenada, Carriacou, PD Martinique, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Dominica, everywhere tuned into Mikey Live right now. How are you doing? I hope that you're having a good one. Olia, this is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, we are talking about the bad, we are talking about the Mikey. And as usual, we want to make sure that we state to you, we do not have a horse in the race. And we are obligated to telling you as it is. Unbiased, uninfluenced. You understand? We just tell you. And who like it, who ain't like it, they have to bite it. And who like it, like it. You know what I mean? We are a real thing to tell all about it, huh? A real thing. So all you brace all yourself. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody else that the program is live. All yeah. Let's take a look at the headlines. Grenada Tourism Authority hosts the Secondary School Career Series. GFA promotion or relegation match withdrawn. Tobias Clement could, I shouldn't say two, could become the next opposition leader. Let me correct my statement. I shouldn't say two, I said two in the headline on the thing. He can. There's a strong possibility that Tobias Clement could be the next opposition leader. Topple the whole business. Hold on, we'll talk about that in a while. Take all the time with me. NLA operation back to normal. You understand? So we're going to tell you an update about that as well, people. There's a call for your help in locating a 14-year-old. We're going to talk about that in a moment. You understand? And questions raised about detention of Vincies as suspects in Grenada robbery. Olia, don't tell nobody I tell all of that, eh? But here them and them are alibi, I hear they say there are people saying that they were at work at the time of the incident. You understand? What? So the thing has just gotten a little more complicated. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Earlier, the US government warns of travel to Dominica amid what they call civil unrest. And a tourist robbed a vendor in St. Lucia. So we have all these and more to tell you about when we come back on the program, you know what I mean? So take all the time, the program go nice. Mikey Live go turn up. Alright, we have to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10. That's channels 10 and 11 on cable. We'll be back. And when we come back, real news in audio Lili Lolo.
Courts blackout deals are back. There's no need to wait because these deals are available all week long. Shop now for amazing Black Friday prices. Monday 18th to Saturday 23rd November. Only at Courts. Nobody does Black Friday better. Courts, bringing value home.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, grey and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granite, St. George.
It's the first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show.
Daddy, don't misquote me. I did not say that she looked like the monkey. I said that the monkey looked like her.
This show is endorsed by the Ministry of Culture. December 14, National Stadium. Gates open 4 p.m. Show starts 6 p.m. Featuring live from Nigeria, Emanuela and Success, and the Mark Angel Comedy Group.
He took your sense.
Oh,
Because his mother still have sense.
From Jamaica, hilarious Granny, Johnny Daly. From Trinidad, Alan, the entertainer. From Barbados, Rick. From Grenada, Robert White. And Dillion Walters. Ticket price, kids under 16, $30. Kids VIP, $80. Adult, early bird, $50. $60 regular. Adult, VIP, early bird, $150. $200 regular. You can make sure to get those tickets at all KFC outlets on the island. Grenada Optical, Granance and St. George's, Heather's Boutique, Kitten's Pharmacy, Granance, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Licks and Bites, St. David's Pharmacy, SOG Foods, Westerhall. Make sure to get your tickets for the first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show. Be there. You, yes you, we welcome you to a new era. Genesis. 31st December 2019, All Year's Night, featuring the headline band from Antigua, the original Burning Flames.
I command you to jump, 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 jump.
Burning Flames. Burning Flames, plus more, live at the Spice Basket Courtyard. Get your early bird tickets, 80 EC. Couples early bird tickets, 150 EC. Online at gotofab.com and your regular ticket outlets for a new era. Genesis. You, yes you.
So I think we are ready to go right now. So again, I'd like to officially welcome everyone to tonight's program. And for those of you who are on the program for the first time again, we want to send a special big up to you because, we like to treat our first timers, we want to make sure all are good. All right. So the first thing that we have to tell all you about, boys, I find that a lot of things are happening in schools, businesses are going in schools, organizations are going into schools, and I think it's really good. Now, the Grenada Tourism Authority has successfully completed its career series in 20 secondary schools across the Tri-Island state. Now, the GTA team shared with over 500 students in Forms 3 and 4. The many career opportunities that the industry has to offer and the important role tourism play in the economy and their lives. Presently, the industry employs over 10,000 people and contributes almost a quarter to the gross domestic product through direct and indirect sources. All right, so they went over to the schools and they were, and I think it's nice, gives the young people an opportunity to know of the various career paths that they can take, and not only one set of thing all the time. You understand? So I applaud you guys for this initiative. I heard that it was really good, so you know what, that was good enough. All right, now we're moving on. The next thing that we have, to GFA has lost its bid to throw out GBSS's application, the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the application to take its promotion or relegation case to the appeal court. Now, GBSS is contending that the decision by the High Court, which ruled in GFA's favor that the promotion or relegation game between GBSS and Shantimel should be contested as scheduled. Now, GBSS is contending it was disenfranchised since in its game in the Premier Division during their regular season against the Hurricane, their opponent fielded a player was not duly transferred. The matter is now to be heard in the appeal court, and this has held up the GFA Premier League, the season, in fact. And we had sports journalist and sports enthusiast Ray Roberts commenting to that effect recently, saying how we have become so petty. Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing, that we allow this situation to prolong so much to the extent that it interrupted the Premier League season. How have we come to this position? You understand? Huh? Man's troops. Next story. You know what I mean? Anyway, Olio. So yesterday we were telling Olio boy that the NLA workers and things like that, boy, they were, annoyed with the fact that their employers are not coming, well, let's say the board of directors were not really treating them in a manner that they say that they deserve to be treated. They say that they had so many outstanding matters to be addressed by the board, and they felt like they've been ignored. And so they decided to take their plight to the streets. They held up operations and beating drum and, drawing attention to the business. Now, we understand that operations there will be back to normal as of tomorrow. You understand? They want to go slow, they decided to turn up the antenna, people. See, they had meetings and so on yesterday and so on, and they discussed the issues and so, and there seemed to be some sort of settlement. So they say they sent out letters and so on informing people that the whole business is settled. You understand? So all we're looking pretty. They say the struggle is real. So when the NLA workers turn up the business, it seemed that they would have gotten what they wanted, things in their favor. You understand? So, yeah. We are moving on now. The authorities and family members are asking for your help. You understand? In locating Wazira Lessie, 14 years old. She's a student. She's actually from Calabash Alley, Grand Mall, St. George. You understand? Now, Wazira was last seen at her home on Saturday, 9th November. Wow! Since on the 9th, she's approximately 5 feet 6 inches in height, slim built and brown in complexion. Anyone seen Wazira Lessie or has any information about her whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Central Police Station at 440-2245, CID at 440-3921, Police Emergency at 911, and you can also call the police hotline at 444-1958, or they say that you can also call the nearest police station. Young lady, if you are in any form of distress, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need some help with a little situation, if you want to go back home but you don't know how to approach your business, here's what to do. You can give me a call too, I know people in high places. If you want to talk to somebody and you're afraid and things like that, that small thing, call a media person, give me a call, give me a message and things like that. We go hook up all you hook you up, because I know how the situation must be. But come, don't have people wondering and think where you are and stuff like that, because that kind of anxiety ain't good for nobody. You understand? So if there's a little situation that you want to talk about, I could probably direct you in the right path. There you speak to somebody, I could talk to you, we could sort out a little business, whatever it is. I understand, I was recently a teenager. Yes, and I was recently a teenager. So I know how it is, I know it's tough. So I could relate, give me a shout or just call somebody that you could talk to and organize the business, all right? Please, all right? Okay? Good. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, all right? All right. I know what to come here for, think I don't know all you. Trouble all you like. We have a lot of budget things to tell you about, right? But I don't want to double. So we have the national report who would address everything about the budget, because I checked out the national report and there's a lot of what I was about to tell you, so I don't want to double it up. So you're going to get all the budget stuff in the national report. All right. We are moving on now. The defending champions Hurricane are SCCU Hard Rock Eagles Super Strikers and Paradise FC International. They are to compete in the Wagiti Super Knockout tournament. Now, Eagles Super Strikers won its quarterfinal game against Monkridge combined 3-2, and Hard Rock down to 10 men in the second half won 3-2 with a late goal to clinch its place ahead of the St. John Sports yesterday at the Victoria Park in Grenville. Now, Eagles Super Strikers and Hard Rock will meet in one semi-final on Saturday, while Hurricane and Paradise FC International will play in the other semi-final. All right, the game will be played at the Kirani James Athletic and Football Stadium. The International, yeah, Stan. Olio, Tobias Clement may very well become the next opposition leader of Grenada. I'm making it up. I'm telling you. No, the man sending a resignation letter here. Well, Mikey, how come you don't have the resignation letter? You have to tap into a computer. Yeah, I mean, that small thing. Yeah, I mean, the man, there's some talk about resignation. You understand? Letter that is sent in to resign from the party. Give me a minute, hold on. I'll get her for you. So, all you remember, Tobias was hinting that since back in April. You understand? I think it was the 15th or something like that. When he makes some statements and he said, well, it looks like he will call the bluff. I'm not making it up. He said he was making some kind of hint, dropping some kind of lines. Yeah, some kind of subliminal message that, you know what I mean, he might jump ship. Yeah, so without pants, he heading overboard. Man, go take a header. Well, Tobias Clement take the header in true dog. So let me refresh your memory. Let me refresh some of the gripes that he was having back in the day.
With a profound sense of regret that I have to speak that the way that our parliamentary offices have been administered, that I have to call it into question. I do not know if it's vis-a-vis or St. George's Northeast alone, but it seems that we are going through a very difficult and trying time. And it is maybe, Mr. Speaker, that I might have to call this bluff. Mr. Speaker, I do not know, but maybe I should put this House on notice that probably when I come back here on another occasion, it might be from a different standpoint. And that is really being contemplated by me today. Mr. Speaker, you know, I spent 10 years in Texas. And one of the favorite games that we learn to play is Texas Hold'em. It's a game of poker, a high-stakes game. Mr. Speaker, I believe we are at the point now when I might just have to call that bluff. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker,
I say anything around here in me, man. I tell you, I come here for the coffee. Boy, you know, no coffee in my cup. But people, so the man, in fact, did tender his resignation and pull up the papers. Look the paper. If I can read the paper on the business. You understand? Yes. So he did, in fact, resign, according to this document, with immediate effect. I am tendering my resignation from the new National Party with immediate effect. I do so with a profound sense of regret from a youth to now, I have been aligned with the New National Party and its leadership for the last 30 years. My association with the party was always based on the principle of democracy, the rule of law, and justice for all. These are principles that the party was founded upon. During those past 30 years, I've seen a lot of successes and failures of the government, party, and personnel. He said that in recent months I have seen the erosion of those democratic principles that our country and party stood for. The action of the political leadership to move to take full control of the constituency's office is in itself contrary to the legislative role that members of parliament plays. The action of the New National Party Secretariat to treat the constituency's offices as party sub-offices runs contrary to the norms of our principles. These and other points that I have been critical of, those criticisms were general ignored and my loyalty to the leadership questioned. I do not gloat in criticizing. I do so as a matter of duty and conscience. My loyalty is to my God, my conscience, and country. Jano! He said, for the last 2 years, it seems that all my actions seem to run contrary to the new normal norms of the party. By my resignation from the party, I believe that the party will be better able to position itself for future endeavors in the St. George's Northeast. I will continue to be an advocate for my brothers and sisters of St. George's Northeast to raise the issues that matter to them the most. I pray that God grant us the spirit of love and civility in our discourse. Jano. So Tobias, do the thing. What does that really mean? That simply means, 1, Tobias Clement can become the next political leader. 2, that he can now appoint his senators and his members and them, 3, that the government will be responsible for setting up an office for the leader of the opposition. 4, NMP now is down to 14 seats than 15. So it's now 14-1. 5, he can now rebut the Prime Minister's recently concluded budget presentation. That seemed to have been a very calculated move by Clement. And at this time, probably to even dissuade, you understand, and to take some attention away from the budget. Anyway, lady, that talk. My God, I come here for the coffee. You're telling me. Anyway, on a serious note, let's see how that will affect things going forward. The Prime Minister, he was interviewed about that today, and he said, you know what, it's business as usual, it's like, no big deal. But we will see how that affects everything. People. Where does that put everything? Time will tell. Yeah, that's that. Are you telling me? Let me leave that talk there. So, the story ended where Ben Tobias no longer NMP. He might be moving over to NDC or start his own party, but we have to wait and see. We rhyming like it's a hip hop or rap. Anyway, I'll get back serious on the program here. So let's wait and see where the whole thing will end up in the next few days, right? Because there's going to be a lot of talk about that. Yeah? I mean, to sit down and calculate it like a mathematical equation. If x plus y is equal to Anyway, so we're moving on, right? So the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, we are having conversation with some people who are involved in that recent shooting incident at the National Stadium. Remember, we jokingly said, because it really didn't, we jokingly said that the whole thing just wasn't adding up. Like you go to the stadium to rob the stadium to thief for grass. Today, we spoke to one of the witnesses who happens to be a student. And the student is also saying that everyone involved in this incident are minors. That minor is saying that the gates of the stadium was opened, and like every 16 or 15-year-old will do, they proceeded onto the stadium and was running on the tracks. Became a little burnt. I'm telling the story as it was. Sitting down. Then they saw some guys coming, running, saying they go kill us, they go kill us. So they not knowing what's going on. Seeing men running, they run too. And that's when the shot was fired. Hitting one of the minors. The eyewitness is saying that there was no intention of robbing. Nobody was in the act of robbing. Nobody was stealing. And that everyone involved, except those who did the shooting, were minors. Okay? So this is something that we are looking at. I'm putting it out there. But we are looking at it. You understand? Because the police said they received a call that there might be a robbery in progress. And that when they responded, this is what happened. That, one of the persons was shot. What we didn't know was that one of the persons who was shot might have just been a 16-year-old. And the other persons may have just been students just the same. So we're watching. All right, so we're watching. Yes, how we looking for time? We're moving on. Tell we doesn't make joke on the program, But I'll speak again to follow up with one of my bedgins in the force to give me, I'm not too sure as well as to whether or not any charges were preferred as a result of this incident. I was told by a source that no one was charged with anything from that incident, but of course, I'll call my partner and them and find out, just, double check. You understand? Double check. Yes. All year, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? No. On another matter, right? The issue regarding the men who are labeled and charged as suspects in the robbery of the credit union in Carriacou, there's a whole new twist. I'm not making it up. There's a whole new twist to this whole case. And you guys have to follow it. No country will just extradite their people just like that, as we are finding out now. As the date draws nearer for the proposed hearing, according to 784 News SVG, of an extradition proceeding with respect to the Vincentian suspects in the October 11, 2019 robbery of the Carriacou branch of the Grenada Union of Teachers Cooperative Credit Union, questions are being asked as to whether police have arrested the right persons. Now, Grenada law enforcement authorities have a major hurdle, says 784, to deal with as they seek to have the serious offenses court in St. Vincent and the Grenadines grant an order for the extradition of 2 Vincentian men named as suspects. We go in, follow me. Proving that the image of suspects extracted from the video footage captured by closed-circuit television camera were those of the suspects detained, and that at the date and time of the robbery, the named suspects were at the scene of the crime is a major challenge for the authorities. People, one of my sources in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is saying to me, Mikey, I can tell you the men have an alibi. Whether it would hold in a court of law, that's another story. But before it even gets there, the extradition. Grenada needs to get over that hurdle, satisfying to the court that the men that they have charged and labeled as suspects are actually the men who did the business. Now already, the public have taken interest in the matter, and persons have been making comments and so on in relation to the Vincentian suspects and the photos that are circulated in the bulletin by the Grenadian authorities, such as those that are on your screen. Now, of greater interest, though, as we have said, is information alleging that both suspects, at the date and time of the alleged burglary, these suspects were seen at their separate places of employment. You understand? Now, it is also understood that the information of the uncertainties, quote unquote, has reached the courts in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So they might be just waiting for further documents from Grenada. You understand? To support Grenada's extradition request. All you? Let's see how that one will play off. You understand? Let's see how that is going to play off, but that's rather interesting. You understand? They say them men and them have alibis. I will leave that one day. I'll make me sweat on the program. I don't want to sweat on the program. You understand? No, all you have a gripe. You understand? I have a gripe. By the way, I didn't show all of them pictures close up, but that is small thing. I have a gripe. I want to share it with all of you. You understand? No. The gripe that I have is that the US, they are warning their citizens about the situation in Dominica. The protest action that is taking place, or that has taken place in Dominica. They have warned their personnel and others to exercise caution as they travel to Dominica over the next several weeks. And they say that this is in light of the civil unrest happening there, or that would have happened. Let me rephrase. Would have happened on Monday. So they are saying to persons who travel or about to travel, watch out for Dominica. Your lives may be at risk. Technically, that's what they say now. Technically, that's what they say. Now, like a protest and a man trying like a two, how they calling it? Tear gas and thing, mash up the crowd. The story anywhere, then everybody go drink a beer after. The US is going to issue this sort of, bogus alert, to say the least. You understand? Dominica is already struggling to recover from the hurricane. And now these incidents are happening far and wide, far and few in Dominica. Maybe the first in the past 10, 15, 20 years, who knows? How many of these we have happening by Uncle Sam? Every one every 10 minutes. You understand? And I just, I have a problem. I love every country because, they offer whatever they can. But I am just here to highlight to you people, wake up and smell the coffee. No one would put value on your country for you. You have to start understanding the value that we bring as small island states. You understand? We are in demand. We just don't realize, we are not willing to see that we are in demand. And we have to start taking measures to remind ourselves of that. Whatever these measures are. You understand? And stop giving people the right to trample on us. To feel that their way and their culture is superior to ours. You know what I mean? It's time for it to stop. And stopping starts with you. You know what I mean? But on another note, while we are telling people of how dangerous Dominica is, a tourist has gone into St. Lucia, and robbed a vendor who is struggling to make a $5 on the side of the road. I'm making it up. So the vendor trying to make a $5 to feed her family, and here you have a tourist coming on a cruise ship. And rob the vendor.
The city center comes up. There is always a focus on protection of visitors, particularly as it relates to robberies and snatchings. But in the Castries Vendors Arcade, we have a situation where it is reversed. A vendor is complaining of theft by a visitor. And we're learning that this is not the first instance.
Bertha Nicholas has been operating at the Vendors Arcade for over a decade. On Wednesday morning, Nicholas was returning to her booth from a washroom visit when she noticed a Caucasian visitor near the booth.
I tried to get his attention. I saw he sent his cap like this. So I thinking maybe he wanted another cap or whatever, which I didn't know of. When I reached closer to him, I said, "Hello, sir, are you interested in a cap or something?" He didn't answer me. He played no mind. So I came, I checked on my stall because I pack my stall. I know how it is. So when I checked, I see this pyramid was missing. When I ran to him, I said, hello, sir, let me see your cap." He never turned back.
The vendor says she tried to physically turn the man around to face her, asking to see what he had under the cap.
He told me he don't have nothing, that's his feet. I opened the cap, he tried to push his hand at me. So I said, let me see the cap. When I tried to hold his hand, I see the pyramid in his hand, and I took it, and then I said, grown-up man like you, why you doing that? He said nothing to me, and then he just turned his back, and then he left.
The man was a passenger on one of the cruise vessels berthed at the Castries Harbor. He was accompanied by a woman.
My friend asked him, is he your wife? He said, no, not my wife. My friend said, don't lie. You mustn't say that. That's your wife? That's your husband? Then she said, well, my boyfriend. So she told her, next time you have to talk to him. Don't do that. He said, I will. And then The wife followed him and then they left outside.
And the vendor says this is not a one-off incident.
Sometimes when you're attending, they come in a group, you attend to 1, 2 of them, and then the rest, when you check your store when they left, they steal your thing. When you check your thing, you have some of your things goods missing. It's not the first time. But this season, the season is very bad.
Now, these things go unreported though. Have you guys reported this to the council, security, anybody responsible?
It just happened today there we saw it live, you understand? But normally it does happen is after they left, we seen our things missing. But it happened live this morning today. I saw him. People witness it.
What's even more hurtful, Nicholas says, is that things have been very slow for the vendors at the arcade.
Last week Friday, they had 5 cruise ships, and then honestly I only sold $6. I sold one magnet for $4 US and a little bun like this for $2 US. 5 cruise ship Friday, $6. It's very little.
From the Castries Vendors Arcade, I am Miguel Favre for NBC Prime. Whenever the discussion of
Y'all want help to put on the alert? I gotta write it. I gotta write it up. And I said it for all to put on the alert. You know? You know what I mean? Huh? Anyway, folks, yeah. Now we are moving on. Olio, I want to remind Olio, it's just a reminder that he had to support my brother business. Alright? He's doing the best right now, that trending karaoke in Grenada. Not because of my brother, but we talk truth on the business. You understand? And so he goes around in the various villages and so on, do the little karaoke. Gold's Bar Wednesdays, that's in Pedmotor. That's 7 to midnight. Then on Thursdays, Tio's Bar, Montu, 8 to midnight. Fridays, J&J Restaurant and Bar, Grand Dance, 8 to midnight. Saturdays, Mash Shop, and that's in Hopeville, 8 to midnight. And on Sundays, Sweet Corner Bar, Vincent's, 8 to midnight. Y'all support the business. And listen, if you all support the business and you all just don't go and do karaoke, I finding out where all stay now. Alright, so always support my brother. Although I have a breaking the internet because we don't have enough time for the entertainment, so I have a breaking the internet for you. What's breaking the internet? My partner Prophet Benjamin. Prophet Benjamin is a very good singer. In fact, he's a reggae singer. But this guy, a clip of Prophet Benjamin is all over the world. All over the world. What? Somebody can't bite Prophet Benjamin. They can't bite him. And so he went for compensation. We taking a break. And when we come back, we go play the business for you. Do go away, no man.
Courts blackout deals are back. There's no need to wait because these deals are available all week long. Shop now for amazing Black Friday prices. Monday 18th to Saturday 23rd November. Only at Courts. Nobody does Black Friday better. Courts, bringing value home.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, grey and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granite, St. George.
It's the first annual KFC Come Laugh With Us comedy show.
Daddy, that misquote me. I did not say that she looked like the monkey. I said that the monkey looked like her.
This show is endorsed by the Ministry of Culture. December 14, National Stadium. Gates open 4 p.m. Show starts 6 p.m. Featuring live from Nigeria, Emanuela and Success, and the Mark Angel Comedy Group.
He took your sense.
Oh,
Because his mother still have sense.
From Jamaica, hilarious Granny, Johnny Daly. From Trinidad, Alan, the Entertainer. From Barbados, Rick. From Grenada, Robert White. And Dillion Walton. Doctors. Ticket price. Kids under 16, $30. Kids VIP, $80. Adult early bird, $50. $60 regular. Adult VIP early bird, $150. $200 regular. You can make sure to get those tickets at all KFC outlets on the island. Grenada Optical, Grand Anse and St. George's, Heather's Boutique, Kitten's Pharmacy, Grand Anse, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Licks and Bites, St. David's Pharmacy, SOG Foods, Westerhall. Make sure to get your tickets for the first annual KFC Come Laugh with Us comedy show. Be there.
All right, so welcome back, folks, and here comes what's breaking the internet right now.
All right, I go come back. You feel it done there? You feel it done there? All them cats and them in trouble. All them cats and them in trouble. Remember, I tell you that.
You see, all your cat and them in trouble. All the cat and them in trouble. You're paying bad. Folks, reggae singer, top, world-renowned. It is now time for the national report. Oh God, we're running out of time. All you could have told me we're running out of time, man. What it is? Anyway, folks, it's time for the national report. Stay tuned.
Grenada's finance minister promises his government will continue on the path of fiscal prudence. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Wednesday, November 20th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Finance Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell attributes fiscal prudence to his government's ability to raise more than $253 million EC dollars in grant financing to support public sector investment initiatives. Presenting the 2020 budget of $1,146,010,705 on Wednesday, Dr. Mitchell said Grenada's enactment of several key pieces of legislation helped them to stay the course of fiscal prudence to achieve this remarkable feat. These include the Fiscal Responsibility Law, Public Debt Management Act, and Public Finance Management Act. Dr. Mitchell says government will continue on the path of fiscal discipline for the benefit of all citizens and will not be swayed by those with selfish political agendas.
Mr. Speaker, while some may clamor for the government to arbitrarily amend the fiscal rules to satisfy certain objectives, we must understand, Mr. Speaker, the magnitude of the losses that we stand to incur if we abort this part of fiscal prudence. Mr. Speaker, it would be highly irresponsible and significantly detrimental to a trajectory of growth, development, job creation, and debt saving to the tune of $101 million in just 7 years if we allow ourselves to be taken down by loud voices rather than be guided by what is in the best interest of all Grenadians.
The $1,146,010,705 budget saw an increase of $11 million from the 2019 estimates. The budget consists of recurrent revenue of $786.2 million, recurrent expenditure of $633.7 million, current account surplus of $152.5 million, capital expenditure of $225.3 million, primary surplus after grants of $212.8 million, an overall surplus of $145.8 million, and principal repayments of $287 million. The presentation was done under the theme Towards Vision 2035, empowering our communities, growing our economy, protecting our environment, strengthening our institutions. The priority areas outlined in the budget are aligned to the National Sustainable Development Plan 2020 to 2035, which will guide Grenada's development for the next 15 years. In his presentation, Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "Achieving the vision enshrined in that plan requires a number of critical actions, namely putting people at the center of sustainable development and transformation, creating a vibrant, dynamic, competitive economy with supporting climate and disaster resilient infrastructure and promoting environmental sustainability and security," unquote. The budget therefore focuses on community empowerment through education, youth advancement, targeted interventions, strengthening institutions through public expenditure reform, universal health coverage, modernization of the public sector. It also focuses on economic growth through small business development, trade readiness support, rural development, agricultural and infrastructural development. $3 million has been allocated for the maintenance of 19 schools, $4 million for the Ministry of Youth Empower program, $300,000 for the Youth in Agriculture program to commence in January, $17.8 million for the Imani program, a reduction of $4.4 million. $2.2 million has been allocated for the Needy Assistance Program, $14.3 million for the SEED Program, $2.2 million for transport and uniform assistance, $15 million for house repair, $1 million for farm labor support. $5 million has been set aside for the Small Business Development Fund. The Ministry of Agriculture has been given $18.6 million, an increase of $1.9 million. Tourism has also received an increase in the allocations from $21.4 million in 2019 to $27.4 in 2020. Prime Minister Dr. Mitchell remains optimistic that Grenada will continue on its path of positive growth in 2020. Growth, he said, that was fueled mainly by activities in the tourism, education, transport sectors, complemented by relatively strong performances in the wholesale, retail and manufacturing sectors. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Did you join the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and have since retired? This might be important to you. Government understands that the NIS pension may be insufficient to take care of your needs. So, while it awaits the court's ruling on the matter of pension for public officers, government has taken action to protect your quality of life so that you can take care of your needs in the meantime. Persons who joined the public service on or after February 22nd, 1985 and serve continuously in an established position for a minimum 26 years and 8 months and retired at age 60 may be eligible to receive an advance payment, which when combined with NIS represents 70% of their last salary. For more information, call or visit the Pension Secretariat in the Department of Public Administration, Ministerial Complex, 440-3767.
Welcome back. Grenada's finance minister has listed more than 10 major government projects and initiatives to be implemented that his government believes hold great prospects for economic activity in 2020 and beyond. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell says government is satisfied with the rate of growth locally and its commitment to ensure it maintains a positive trajectory. US $37.71 million has been set aside for Phase 3 of the Agriculture Feeder Roads project. The project will be executed in 2 parts. Phase 1 will commence in January and Phase 2 will commence in March 2020.
Clabany Road, Munich to Backlet Bridge, Limler Road, Upwitwood to Primrose, Brothers Road, Willis to Constantine Road, and several others, Mr. Speaker. Component 2 involves the rehabilitation of 24.06 kilometers of road, including bridges and other infrastructure. And that includes Cherry Hill Road, Baylis Bacalet to La Pastora, Bellevue Road, Mondelez to Old Wester Hall, Flamingo Bay Road, Mango Road, Happy Hill to Mount Morris, among others. Construction will begin on Component 2 in March 2020 and is expected to create employment for over 250 persons.
5 health facilities will be upgraded and Phase 2 of the General Hospital will be completed under the OECS Regional Health Project. $16.1 million has been set aside for the project.
Grenada will use its allocation, which is $16.1 million of the OECS Regional Health Project. That's the OECS project, where I think is Dominica and St. Lucia, to invest in the upgrades of 5 facilities: the Monge Psychiatric Hospital, the St. David's Health Center, the Radhoon Center, and Phase 1 of the General Hospital would also be given some support. Work would also be undertaken to upgrade the public health laboratory at the General Hospital to achieve Tier 1 accreditation, to enhance country compliance with the international health regulations, and to strengthen the National Health Emergency Response Operating System. At least 100 jobs will be created by this project, which seeks to strengthen the capacity of the health systems to ensure the continuity of services following any extreme weather event.
Another major project listed for implementation in 2020 is the Climate Resilient Agriculture for Integrated Landscape Management project. 19 sub-projects have been listed. This US $3.7 million project will focus on biodiversity conservation in the production landscape and increase the resilience of the agricultural system.
I have listed 19 such projects, public sector initiative associated projects. There are several more that I did not name. This highlights, Mr. Speaker, the tremendous amount of economic activity and job creation in 2020 and beyond. We are very cognizant, Mr. Speaker, that would necessitate the enhancement of competencies in the Ministry of Infrastructural Development, Implementation and Works, and other supporting government agency to order to execute such projects. We had such weaknesses in 2019. We have faced it and we are doing something about it to ensure that we can take advantage of all these projects that are given.
Dr. Mitchell also highlighted refurbishment of government buildings, school rehabilitation under the Grenada Education Enhancement Project, Japan-Caribbean Climate Change Project, refurbishment of the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Basic Needs Trust Fund, among other major projects to be undertaken in 2020. Finally, in the news, the manager of the Climate Smart Agriculture Enterprise Project, SIEP, says there are many positives to take away from the government's billion-dollar budget, which was presented by the country's finance minister on Wednesday. Mr. Byron Campbell told the Government Information Service he's happy with the emphasis being placed on young people, rural development, and reducing youth unemployment.
It means that the focus now has to be on youth. How do we get resources into young people? And we even if we could differentiate that further, it's even more challenging within male youth compared to the female youth. But here in the youth program, though, in the rural development and focusing on youth, we see significant resources going there. And let me just outline them. He touched on them. He talked about the Simone Industrial Park, that an MOU with the GIDs for just over $7 million. That's one phase of it, to establish a training and outreach center for business development for young people. And marriage to that will be grant financing, where you're going to have business development officers employed, they're already employed, I should say, this is happening, to handhold and to guide those young people into various small businesses, you know.
Right.
And it doesn't stop there. There's a big aspect for it in agriculture, because we didn't mention it now, but I see the theme certainly talks about sustainability and environmental sustainability. And that's a big area for us, because it's not just agricultural production or just production. We have to look at how we have to do it in a sustainable way, and how we do it within the, we call it within the ecology, within the eco-environment.
Kieran Phillip, who has the interest of young people at heart, is encouraged that the fiscal package addresses areas for continued youth development.
Young people, if you're paying attention, I mean, a lot of great things has been said in the budget. Youth in agriculture is coming on stream, and it's coming on stream live, because they have showed that they have identified a number of lands or various lands that is going to be allocated towards youth in agriculture. So it's something that we have to start thinking about. Yes, because there is a cut in the New Imani program, don't think that the numbers would drop in terms of how many persons are being accepted into the program. It just means that the focus has been changed, or it has been given the task of a number of other institutions like SAIB and all those others to now focus or to help in terms of the New Imani program, create more skills, create more stability, create more personal touch to young people, rather than just having to be in an apprenticeship program. So now you would get certificates, you would get whatever the case is, and further yourself and better yourself. So we have to pay attention to all this, and all in all, I think that the allocations for youth, I mean, as I said earlier, we could do it more, but I think what we have gotten, what we have just gotten, I think it's an exceptional amount for youth.
That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. Let's recap the top story. Grenada's finance minister promises his government will continue on the path of fiscal prudence. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thank you very much, Rikisha, and everyone else who were instrumental in the putting together of the national report. And let's just quickly take a look at the weather. We have exhausted our time. I think our timekeepers, I will take the blame. Our timekeepers did say that we were running out of time, but we had so much to talk about tonight. Weather is expected to be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with the occasional light to moderate nighttime showers, and winds are east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour, gusting higher with showers. Seas slight to moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. No warnings are in effect. And that's it for the weather and for the news. God bless you, and everyone tuned in, thank you for watching. Like everyone, thank you for watching. We'll come back with another program for you guys tomorrow, God's willing. God bless you. Have a good one. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No! Goodbye, everyone.